Hi everyone, welcome back to the Children's Torah Stories. Do you remember what happened last time? Yosef was in prison, and while he was going around the prison, he met the butler, that's the guy who gets Paro's wine, and the baker is the guy who makes Paro's bread, and they both told him that they had crazy dreams. And today's story is going to have quite a lot of crazy dreams. So, the first dream, remember, was the butler, that he dreamt how many grapevines were there in his dream? Can you remember from yesterday? 3 grapevines in his dream. He dreamt that there were 3 grapevines, and he went and he took the juice out of the grapes and it turned into wine, and he got that in a cup and he brought that to Pharaoh. This was all part of his dream, and he gave Pharaoh the wine, and Pharaoh said, "Oh, thank you, very tasty." That was his dream, and he said, "Yosef, I don't know what it means." Well, Yosef thought about it, and he asked Hashem for help. He said, "Please, Hashem, tell me what the dream means." And Hashem told Yosef what the dream means, and that is what Yosef told the butler. Yosef said, "Mr. Butler, the dream means that in 3 days' time," that's why it's 3 grapevines, because it's 3 days' time. In 3 days' time, Paro is going to give you back your job. You will come out of jail. You will go back to doing your job, giving wine to Paro again. And the butler said, butler. I'm the happiest butler in town. He was very, very happy. Well, then it was the baker's turn to tell his story. So the baker, remember, we don't have a baker puppet, so the giraffe is our baker puppet. So the baker said, "Well, Yosef, I had another very strange dream. And my dream was that I had 3 baskets of bread on my head." Can you believe such a thing? I had 3 baskets of bread on my head. Will you pass me the bread, please, Shalva? Thank you. There's the bread on his head. He says, "I had 3 baskets of bread on my head, and there were birds eating the bread out of my head." What a crazy dream. Yosef, can you tell me what that dream means as well, please? And Yosef said, "Well, I am sorry to tell you, I do know what that dream means as well. But that dream is not such a good dream. The 3 baskets of bread means how many days do you think, Yeladim? How many days for the 3 baskets? 3 days, just like with the butler. In 3 days' time, Paro is going to think about you as well. But I'm sorry to say, he is not going to let you out of jail. You are going to stay in jail for a long, long time. I'm sorry, that's bad news." And what did the baker do you think, when he heard that? I think he went, "Don't worry, I'm not really sad. I'm just showing you what the baker did." But meanwhile, the butler was really happy. "I'm going to get out of jail." He was delighted, very excited. Anyway, do you think Yosef's words are going to come true or not? Do you think it actually is going to be that that Paro is going to have the butler come back and leave the baker in jail? What do you think, Yeladim? Is that dream going to come true? Yes, you are right. The dream is going to come true. See, you know what was special about 3 days' time? In 3 days' time, it was Paro's birthday. And Paro had a birthday party for all his friends. And everyone came and brought him presents. And everyone was singing happy birthday. Will you sing that together with me? The song that they all used to sing, Happy Birthday to Paro. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paro. Happy birthday to you. Paro's been waiting a whole long year to light his birthday candles. And so we sing and sit in a ring, for Paro is I don't know how old Paro was. Paro was some age. It was his birthday. And when it was Paro's birthday, he decided that he would think about... Yeah, he would think about the butler and the baker. And you know what he decided? He said, well, why did I put them both in prison to begin with? Do any of you remember what went wrong that he put the butler and the baker in prison? Well, he put the butler in prison because the butler brought him wine. And what did Paro find in the wine? A fly. Yeah. And he put the baker in prison because the baker brought him bread. And what did he find in the bread that would make ow in his mouth? A stone. There was a stone in the bread. So do you know what Paro said? Paro started thinking and he started rubbing his chin like this. Paro started rubbing his chin and thinking, you know, maybe the fly in the wine was not actually the butler's fault. Maybe the fly only came in the wine after he already brought me the wine. I don't think that I should leave him in jail. I think that I should let him come out of jail. And so along came the policeman down to the jail. Excuse me, everyone, I have an announcement to make. Will you pass me the butler, please, Shalva? Excuse me, everyone, I have an announcement to make. The butler can come out of jail. Yippee! Hooray! I'm so happy. And he took him out, and Paro said to him, Mr. Butler, you can come out of jail. You can be my butler again. Yay, I'm so happy. Yosef's explanation of my dream came true. I see there's a very good question from Mrs. Bachman. Did Paro eat cake? And the answer is, it depends what you mean by cake, but probably not. It was bread. Do you know that bread was actually invented in Egypt? That's where bread comes from. And that's one of the reasons why we don't eat bread on Pesach. Pesach is coming out soon. On Pesach, we went out of Egypt. And that is why Hashem says to us, don't eat bread because you went out of Egypt. And Egypt was the place where they lived their bread because that's where they made bread. So that was Paro's first thing that he said. I just want to check in if everyone's still with me. If you're on the Facebook Live, please send a thumbs up or a love if you're enjoying the story. And if you're watching over Zoom, also give me a wave or a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Wonderful. So, the next part of the story, Paro says, but actually, I will let the butler out of prison because it wasn't his fault. But the baker, he brought me bread with a stone in it. And that definitely is his fault. And so, he has to stay in jail forever. Would you put somebody in jail forever, Yeladim, just because there was a stone in your bread? You would, Azrael? I wouldn't do that. Would you do that, Surya? You also would do that. Wow. Well, I guess different strokes for different folks, guys. But I myself would not put somebody in jail forever just because, just because they put a stone in my bread. But I think that was what Paro said. Thank you, Mrs. Lee. I'm loving telling the stories as well. So, what happened next was, Yosef said to the butler before he went out of jail, Mr. Butler, please remember me and please one day tell Paro about me because I never did anything bad and they put me in jail and I shouldn't be in jail because really I've been good the whole time. That's what Yosef said. And the butler said, okay, I will remember and I will go tell Paro about that. But guess what, Yeladim? I am sorry to tell you, he broke his promise. He did not remember to tell Paro the story about how Yosef really didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, pretty crazy, but that is how it went. Well, things stayed that way for a long time. Do you know how many years it stayed like that? 2 whole years Yosef stayed in jail. Even after this whole story, he stayed in jail for 2 whole years. Sure, poor old Yosef. He didn't even do anything wrong, and he was still in jail another 2 years. But after those 2 years, something else happened. And this is Paro's crazy dreams. Paro one night went to bed. Now, Yeladim, you might need to help me over here, because sometimes what happens is when I tell the story about Paro sleeping, sometimes I fall asleep. So you might just need to shout at me to wake up if I fall asleep. Will you do that for me? Thank you. So, what happened was, Paro one night went to bed, he got into his pajamas, he got a bottle to drink, he went under the covers, his mommy tucked him into bed and sang him a lullaby, and then Paro went to sleep. Oh, thank you for waking me up. Sorry, I fell asleep. Okay, so what happened was, Paro fell asleep and he started having a dream. Whoa, okay. No, now I'm back for you for real. Okay, so Paro fell asleep and he started having a dream. And this was the craziest dream you've ever seen. Shava, please pass me that cow. It is a cow? No, for today it's a cow. So, this is a cow. Do you all agree? Can you see the cow? This is the cow. Fine. So, Paro dreamt that he was standing by the river Nile. The river Nile is the biggest river in Egypt, one of the biggest rivers in the whole world. And Paro was standing by the river Nile, and out of the river Nile came the most beautiful cows he had ever seen. It wasn't just one. Look at this. One cow came out, count them with me, then another one, and 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 then another one. How many cows came out of the river Nile altogether, Yeladim?
3.
7, actually, even more than 3. 7 cows came out of the river Nile, and they all looked great and healthy and good. These were fantastic cows. And Paro was so happy looking at these beautiful cows that came out of the river Nile. But then, I'm sorry to tell you, some bad cows came out of the river Nile. Shalva, pass me the bad cow, please. Yes, this is the bad cow. Have you ever seen such a terrible cow? It went blue because it was so sick. And it was like so hungry, like it hadn't eaten in 2 weeks. That was a terrible cow. And do you know how many of those cows Paro saw? Look at this. He saw a cow, and then he saw another 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 cow. He saw 7 bad cows. So that is what he saw in his dream. There was 7 good cows and 7 bad cows. And then you'll never guess what happened next. The good cows were just standing around, minding their own business, and along came the bad cows. Munch, 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 munch. They gobbled them up. They opened their mouths and they swallowed up the 7 good cows. Have you ever had a dream like that in your whole life? I think this is a really crazy dream. No, Mr. Shulman, I don't think the cows had coronavirus, but I think that is a very clever thing to say as to why these cows didn't look so good. But they're not good cows. Nom, 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 nom. Mwah. Gobbled up the good cows, and all that was left was the bad, sick cows. That's all that was left. Now, after that, Paro had another dream. I don't have pieces of wheat, I'm sorry to tell you, to show you what the wheat looked like. But he then had a dream with 7 good pieces of wheat and 7 bad pieces of wheat. And the 7 bad pieces of wheat ate the 7 good pieces of wheat. So it was a very similar kind of dream that he had. And he had those 2 dreams. And, whoa, he woke up. And he said, what a crazy dream. And do you know what he did after having the craziest dream the world has ever seen? Do you know what he did right away? He went back to sleep again. I fell asleep. Paro went back to sleep again. And then he woke up. While he went back to sleep, he had the same dreams. Again, he had the dream with the good cows. Oh, nice healthy cow. And again, he had the dream with the bad cows. Yucky cow. And again, the bad cows ate the good cows. And then again, the stalks of wheat. And Paro woke up and he said, whoa, that was like totally crazy, man. I've never had a dream so crazy in my whole life. I don't know what it means. Let me call all the magicians and they will tell me what my dream means. And so that's what he did. He went to all the different magicians and he said, excuse me, Mr. Magician, do you know what my dream means? And the magician said, no idea. Or another magician said, yes, I know what it means. It means you will get a giant trampoline. Paro knew that they were all talking nonsense. Nobody knew what his dream meant. But he really wanted to know what his dream meant, and he kept asking and asking, and nobody could tell him what his dream meant. And he was getting sadder and sadder. Nobody's going to tell me what my dream means. What am I going to do? Well, lucky for Paro and lucky for us, there was one man who came to the rescue. He was 2 years late, but better late than never. Along came the butler. And no, not the bad cow. Along came the butler. You can have the bad cow. Along came the butler, and the butler said, Paro, I didn't really want to tell you, but you know, a long time ago, do you remember I was in jail? Paro said, yes, I remember. You put the fly in my wine. He says, well, when I was in jail, I also had a crazy dream, and there was somebody there who could tell me what my dream meant. His name was Yosef. And maybe Yosef can tell you what your dreams mean as well. What do you think, Yeladim? Do you think Yosef's going to be able to tell Paro what his dream means? I think you are right. He definitely is going to be able to. And so, Paro said, all right, call Yosef from the jail. Let us see if he really knows what the dream means. And along came the policeman back to the jail. Yosef, where's Yosef? Come on up, Yosef. Yosef came along. Yes, Mr. Policeman, yes. Yosef, you have to come upstairs with me right now. Paro wants to see you. Oh, I wonder what he wants to see me about. And they got Yosef ready. They gave him a nice bath, and they gave him a nice haircut, and they put on nice clothes because he'd been wearing the yucky clothes in the prison, and they didn't get to bath very often. So he got all ready, and up he came. And Paro says, Yosef, I've heard all about you. I hear that you know how to tell people what dreams mean. And Yosef says, no, sorry, Paro, I don't know what dreams mean. Can you believe what Yosef just said? Maybe Paro's going to put him back in jail. Yosef says, no, Paro, I don't know what any dreams mean. There's only one who knows what dreams mean. Who is that? Who is it who knows what the dreams mean? Yes, Shalva, it is Hashem. Yosef says, Hashem's the only one who knows what dreams mean. I can't tell you what dreams mean, but Hashem knows. So, maybe if you tell me, maybe Hashem will tell me, but I don't know. Hashem knows. Paro says, fine, I will tell you. And he tells them the whole story that we heard again with the 7 big cows and the 7 sick cows and the wheat and the whole story. And he said, so Yosef, did Hashem tell you what my dream means? And Yosef said, yes, Hashem did tell me what the dream means. I will tell you exactly what it is. And, Yeladim, it's a very important dream. And it's very important what Yosef said. But I'm sorry to tell you that our time for today is finished. And I'm going to have to wait until next time to tell you what the dream means. Are you going to come back again? If you are going to come back again, then please give me a thumbs up or a wave or something so that I know that you will. I thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you next time. Next time's going to be on Sunday at 12:30 again. And until next time, bye. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.